What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your daily news report for Saturday, November 19th. So we have something that is now starting that is going to impact millions and millions of Americans. It's actually going to impact mostly the lower income and middle income households. They will feel the most financial pain because of this. And I want to address what's going on because honestly, 2022 has been a very tough year for most Americans. We still have inflation that's around 8%. We're at 7.7%. We got as high as 9.1% just a handful of months ago. And now the expectation is that the Fed is going to tip the US economy into a mild recession. That's at least according to many economists. Now, this is not something that you should be extremely worried about if you have been preparing for this all along. But I know a lot of people have not. That's fine. It's not too late, but you should start planning for a larger economic slowdown. Right now, we are seeing the economy slow down in certain industries and certain areas of the country, but according to multiple experts, they say we will have a larger economic slowdown to start 2023. Now, economists also predict that more than 1 million jobs will be lost to start 2023. They predict unemployment will rise over 5%. But why is this such a big deal? Well, here's why. Because we've been over 5% before, right? We had 14% unemployment back in 2020. So we've really improved. But here's why this is such a big deal. As the American people lose money to spend, they will hoard whatever they can. They will hoard whatever they need to, right? And this will put even more pressure on retail stores, on car dealerships, realtors, right? People in the service business. Yeah, because they're going to struggle to sell their product to somebody that doesn't have money. Now, when this happens, these businesses will tend to lay off employees as well. For instance, let's just look at what happened this week. Carvana, they laid off 1,500 people just the other day. We will see more than 500,000 Americans. They will be, and again, right now, more than 500,000 Americans are behind in their auto loans by more than 60 days. But we are going to see more than 500,000 Americans on top of that fall further behind on their car loans. We will see auto dealerships start to lay off employees. This is going to come very soon. Some are expecting that if we do not see an influx of new car buyers by the end of 2022, then 2023 will be a devastating start for the auto industry. We also know home sales have stalled, and millions of buyers are simply waiting to see what happens with interest rates before they decide to jump in. Now, here's what I can say. And again, I'm not a realtor. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But for people that are right now trying to buy a home and they're paying top dollar for a home, getting just a massive interest rate on it, right? It's not 3%. We're over 7% right now. So for people that are paying more than double to get into a home, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense financially. But again, and I understand it, understand why people would still try to buy a home, but it just doesn't make much sense. Now, with that said, if you are trying to buy a home, find 5, 6, find a dozen different homes you can make offers on. Right? Make an offer on one and come in way below asking, because I guarantee you somebody is going to accept or they will counter with a pretty good discount. Right? So just keep that in mind if you are trying to buy a home. But as buyers do wait to make purchases, this puts the entire industry in jeopardy. And this could potentially cause the U.S. economy to dip into a recession sooner rather than later. This is what many people have feared. Now, I did hear of what some are calling good news for 2023, and I want to touch on this because as of right now, what we are hearing from employers is they're planning to pay wage increases of 4.6% for 2023. Sounds like a pretty substantial raise, right? When most people get about 2, maybe 3% raise on a good year, and now they're saying a 4.6% raise. Well, let's talk about that. What happens when you factor in inflation at 7.7% to a raise at 4.6%? And in reality, inflation is probably closer to 15%. But the CPI number says 7.7. Well, you're still losing money. Whether you're at 15% inflation or 7.7, well, if you get a raise at 4.6, you're still 3.1% behind what inflation is. So you're still losing. You're not winning here. You are still losing. Now, President Biden did say that inflation help is coming. However, he made it very clear it will take time. And it will. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a long time before inflation is fully under control. Now, here's another major problem. And this is why lower income households will feel the financial pain, is simply because we're also learning at this time that wealthier shoppers are shopping at places like Walmart and other lower income stores. Now, the real problem here, because this could be a major problem, is if wealthier shoppers just stop shopping at the more expensive places, right? If they don't go to Whole Foods, right? They don't go to the higher end stores, and they come to Walmart and grocery outlet and places like that. This is going to create a real problem for lower income households. Now, for many middle income and higher income families, they don't shop at Walmart for groceries. They just don't. But in order to save money, many people have started to. And what I have said before is that when shoppers turn to the less expensive products, it's going to create a massive shortage of those less expensive products. And this is exactly what has happened. Now, I actually saw something very interesting the other day. I want to go over this because I haven't seen this before. Now, normally when I do grocery shopping, I don't like to go to Walmart. I don't go to stores that are really packed, and so I don't spend a lot of time in Costco. But when I go by myself, I normally go to a store called Grocery Outlet. Many people have probably heard of that. It's a kind of a discount grocery store. Now, normally when I go to Grocery Outlet, I can park right in the front. There's probably 4 or 5 cars there. However, I went just this past week, just a few days ago, and I noticed something different. I couldn't park right in the front. There were a bunch of, newer, very expensive cars. I saw a Cadillac Escalade, a fairly new one. I saw a brand new Jeep Wagoneer. This is a car that I've actually looked into. This is probably like an $80,000 to $90,000 car. Yeah, somebody shopping at Grocery Outlet. There were a handful of probably 3 to 4 year old trucks. Even saw a couple sports cars. There's one Porsche, right, and then there was a BMW, very nice BMW. Now all these cars, no big deal. I've seen them before, nothing special. But when people that are driving around a vehicle that costs $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 or more, when they are driving those cars around, they can probably afford to shop at the higher end grocery stores. Now again, I go to grocery outlet probably once a week. Never seen these cars. Never seen them at Grocery Outlet. Now, that's shocking because again, and this is what many economists have worried about, and this is starting to happen, is once the wealthier individuals just are like, screw this, I'm done shopping at Whole Foods and those stores. I'm going to go to Grocery Outlet, I'm going to go to Walmart, I'm going to start shopping there. This is why this is potentially a devastating situation for the lower income and middle income households is because they're the ones that are going to feel the financial pain. All right? So that's what I can tell you right now. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.